Hey guys, I'm just kind of revisiting a couple areas around the Farmington Rail Trail. Last time was in the summer. Just kind of wandering around here. The trail is right up there. This was originally the Cochico, then the Boston and Maine. Just kind of looking around, see if there's anything I might have missed. It's nice to go revisit this time of year, or even like in the fall or winter, because there might be some things you missed when everything was growing in. There's a bunch of piece of railroad ties there. Just trying to do some things here before the snow. I guess it's going to snow again Monday and Tuesday. I'm not getting much of a spring this year. Let's see. Let's go check these out. Maybe we can find some nails in here. Curious. Nothing there. Maybe there's a pile of them in here. Be kind of hard to dig through. The hole. It's rounded. That would have been the bottom. Oh, these are old, huh? Nothing there. I don't know if I saw these ones before. I may have. Probably didn't look very close. What we got here? Uh-oh. Yeah, it's usually what you find. Stuff scattered. This is a pretty nice trail, actually. The only part of it that's paved is this right here. I'm not gonna walk the whole trail again. You guys have seen that. Just again, there may have been some things here and there that I missed. Now this was supposedly, I shouldn't say supposedly, this was a site of a circus train wreck. I'm sure I've talked about it before. 1928. The only issue is the way the landscape looked at that time. Obviously everything's so different now. I know it was coming from that direction. It was coming from Lakeport, going to Massachusetts. So yeah, it would have been going this way. And it's, little bit of information I've had is that it was right at this intersection where the Cochico, or at the time it was the Boston and Maine, crossed this road, Meetinghouse Hill, and I think the wreck happened right in here, right actually on that road. I've never found any evidence of it. I've only seen just some, stories of it here and there. Newspaper article from that time. So what I'll do, I'm gonna actually just walk across the street. I just wanted to actually look at these little piece of railroad ties first. And we can find something over there. So if you look at the pictures online, I don't know if I can share them or not because they're not mine. You'll see people standing on either side, and it's all like sand, and that's really what there is around here. It's all sand in this area. But I think it looked different to me because it looked like the elevation was higher, but now that I'm standing down here on this side of the trail, it's easy to see how high that elevates right there. And I think part of the wreck was right here, across the street, because this elevation is a lot higher than I originally thought it was. So it's probably people standing along here and here, and all I could see around it was sand. And that's what the newspaper article talked about, was the rail cars were just buried in sand. There is some rail here though. That's probably a good start. Oh boy. That's in some really bad shape too. see a lot of rails around, but I don't see them usually like that. Yep, that's definitely broken. Look at that. The whole thing is just wrecked. Just completely shot. Jeez. I've never seen it like that before. Just absolutely destroyed. So, this is an interesting spot here because this was only like a couple hundred yards maybe from where I just was. And it's just piles of railroad ties here. And again, the last time I was here, everything was growing in. So I could see some things. There's ties there. And because it's so close to the crash site, I'm wondering if that's what a lot of this stuff is. It was just dumped here. Let's see what I can find over here. I didn't see any signs over here, so you can see the opening there. That's where I just was, right over there. It's possible. This stuff could have just been dragged over here and thrown in the woods. There's some more over there. Let's go over here first. Just kind of wandering around. I'd like to find some really... I'm not denying it happened. It obviously happened, but you find like evidence from it. It'd be kind of cool. You can see the way those are just thrown right there. The only thing I read about it was there's some kind of, I don't know what it's called. There's some kind of a bar that dropped when the train was moving. And it basically acted as a catapult when it hit the railroad ties. It was just like one car after the other. You can see parts from a switch here. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, like a base for a switch. So maybe this could have been part of it, part of the wreck. And I've seen this before where it says Boston to Maine. It says B&M right here. B&M. As you can see it more clearly now. Just imagine. Look at these. Just the way they're just kind of thrown. Usually along this trail, you'll see them stacked pretty neatly here and there. Except for here, of course. Interesting. I don't think I looked at these before. I don't know, metal strap or something there. Crazy. How long has this been here? I think it's kind of squashed. I think that's a 29. There's a nail. This one's turned on its side, I think, so I can't see anything. Yeah, it's just something to think about. I don't know if anyone who has... I mean, what did they do with the wreckage? You know, all the mangled rail. I think I just saw some of them, right? Where they're kind of broken. Not really sure, but this could have definitely been part of that. No doubt about that. Check this out. So, when I first started doing this last spring or summer, I was really primarily looking at the stone culverts. Now, someone else had called this a pass-through to allow livestock to pass through or whatever, but there are different levels to it here. So, obviously, it was used for water, and it could have been used for that too. Now, to put this in perspective, when I first saw the dam, I showed you that you can see it. There's way more water coming through it now. When I first saw that, I had walked through here and looked up and saw it, and I didn't know what it was. So at that time, this was bone dry. That was like probably in June or July or something. Just crazy that I actually walked through there. If you want, I'll just go take another walk up there, take a look at that dam, because now there's even more water coming through. And there's the dam. And here's the foundation. I did look at this before, but again, it's growing in. Look at that. Still some snow and ice down there. Such a random video this is going to be. If it wasn't so wet or icy, I guess I could walk down that in the center. It'd be kind of slick. I'll go up around here. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I walked down this side before. It's just really cool to come back and revisit these places. And this is a massive foundation. Some type of mill. Historical Society said it was a mill. That's all they told me. So of course the train would have been running down through here. They probably would have had some kind of a, who knows, loading dock or something. I did walk down in there also. I mean, I couldn't even give you an estimate how long this thing is, but it's that's a massive foundation. Probably need a metal detector. That'd be fun for someone. What I was trying to figure out before is how did it power the mill? Because you had that cutout right there. I'll show you. For the dam, you had that cutout right there. Another hole right there. But it's offset. So if you look at the water coming through here, but the foundation's way over here. I'm not exactly sure how that would have worked. Maybe somebody knows. You guys could fill me in on that. At first I was almost thinking there was some kind of a chute. But I don't know. I've seen things like that before. Some old photos. But I think the last time I was here there was still snow on the ground. Isn't that beautiful? Sit here all day.